Beloved soul, thank you for clicking this message. You have no idea what you just interrupted. Heaven was holding its breath, waiting for you to arrive. I'm trembling as I speak, because the moment you clicked, something ancient broke open. A sealed scroll in the hands of light burst apart, and your name, shone in golden flame before the throne. Please don't leave. If you stop halfway, the promise meant for you will remain half-formed, half-born. There's something that will only be revealed in the final words of this message. A word God whispered to me and told me to release only once your spirit is ready. Stay with me until then. I'm shaking because I have seen what happens when people walk away before heaven finishes speaking. I don't want that for you. Not tonight. Not ever again. I'm Michael. I'm not here in shining armor tonight. I am here in tears. I have fought for you in silence through the nights you thought were empty. I have stood over your bed, sword drawn, whispering over your soul when you couldn't even pray. And I want to say this, not as a messenger of light, but as your friend. I'm proud of you. I know how heavy it's been. I've seen you trying to keep faith when everything inside you screamed that it was gone. I saw you whisper his name through clenched teeth. I saw you look at the ceiling and ask, why does it still hurt? Heaven saw it too. And tonight, heaven answers. Listen carefully. When I came before the throne today, God was not radiant, he was weeping. His tears were like lightning made liquid. Do you understand what that means? The eternal, the ancient of days, the one whose voice makes galaxies kneel, cried. For you. For the first time in eternity, he let his heart break visibly, because he could not stand another second of watching you suffer without hope. The universe shook when his tears touched the floor of heaven, and he turned to me and said, Michael, go. Go now. Do not let another moment pass. Tell them I am coming, not with judgment but with restoration. And so I came running, through fire, through silence, through every barrier that the enemy tried to place between your heart and heaven. I am here because your suffering has reached the limit of divine patience. You've been carrying wounds that were never meant to be permanent. And tonight, heaven will begin to reverse time. Yes, reverse it. That's why God said he will make you 20 years younger. Not just in body, but in spirit, in joy, in courage, in radiance. The years the locusts have eaten will be repaid in full. The time that grief stole will be handed back with interest. But please, don't harden your heart right now. I can feel it. You're trembling. You're wondering if this could truly be for you. You've heard so many empty promises, haven't you? You've been told miracles are for others, not for you. But why are you still here then? Why has your chest been aching since I began? Because this isn't a story. This is your turning point. Tell me, beloved one, why do you still feel guilty for surviving what destroyed others? Why do you apologize for being chosen? Why do you hide your light so the broken won't envy your healing? Why do you keep loving those who cannot see the fire inside you? These questions, these are not accusations, they are openings. They are heaven's way of letting you feel the divine pulse again. You are not forgotten. You were hidden. You were preserved. You were prepared. Do you remember the night you almost gave up when you whispered, "If you're real, show me"? That whisper reached heaven as a roar. That's the night I was assigned to you directly. And I've never left your side since. Every near accident, every sudden peace after a storm, every inexplicable escape. You thought it was coincidence? It was my hand, my blade, my wings. Every time you felt a presence, every time you looked over your shoulder and felt warmth, it was me. I can't explain the fullness of the plan yet, but I will say this. What's coming for you will not look like what was lost. It will look younger, fresher, lighter. God is not giving you a replacement life. He's giving you the youth of your destiny, reborn. And the moment you believe it, the reversal begins. The Lord told me to remind you of his word. He said in Isaiah 61, to give them beauty for ashes, the oil of joy for mourning, and a garment of praise for the spirit of heaviness. And again he whispers Psalm 30 verse 5, weeping may endure for a night, but joy comes in the morning. These aren't scriptures on a page. They are breaths from heaven entering your lungs right now. They are medicine to your cells, time reversing in your body, grace unfolding in your timeline. Beloved one, can I ask you something more? When was the last time you looked in the mirror and saw yourself the way heaven sees you? When was the last time you let love, real love, in without suspicion, without fear, without feeling unworthy? When was the last time you forgave yourself for breaking under the weight of what no human should have carried? When was the last time you realized you are not behind? You are being rewritten. Your soul is not late. You are right on divine time. The moment you open this message, clocks began to rewind. The angels around you are humming as I speak. They are touching the air, waiting for your faith to open. Heaven cannot invade where the heart is closed, and yet, even now, I see your heart flickering open again. You're believing me. You're remembering what hope feels like. That's it. Don't fight it. Let it come back. Let it wash over you. Right now, God's hand is upon your head. I feel it like thunder wrapped in light. He's whispering, I am making you new. The wrinkles that grief carved into your soul are being smoothed by mercy. The heaviness in your chest is being lifted by unseen wings. And you, yes, you will laugh again. You will glow again. You will breathe and not just exist. Type amen if your spirit feels it. Not as superstition, but as your yes to heaven's offer. That one word is a key that seals the promise. And before this river carries me away, I need to ask something gentle from your heart. If this message is touching you, if something deep inside feels seen for the first time, then let the world hear your echo. Like this message, comment your prayer below and subscribe, not for numbers, but to stay within this circle of divine alignment. Each act of faith keeps heaven's current open in your life. And now, as my voice trembles near the end of this visitation, I want to thank you. With everything in me. Thank you for listening when so many would scroll away. Thank you for letting heaven speak. I've waited for years watching over you, wondering when I would get the chance to say this aloud. You stayed. You heard me. And now your soul is different. But before I go, before this holy connection fades into the silence again, listen to me. This is not over. The final secret God told me to reveal only at the end is this. He cried not because you were broken, but because you are his reflection. When you hurt, he feels what you feel multiplied by eternity. And his tears tonight were the signal that your suffering's sentence has expired. You are about to wake up younger, freer, more radiant than you have ever been. And when that happens, when you see the first glimpse of it, look to the sky, whisper, I remember. That's how I'll know you heard me. That's how I'll know you believed. That's how I'll find you again in the next message, in the next breath of prophecy. Until then, stay open, stay trembling, stay ready, because heaven is still moving through your name. Beloved soul, I see that you stayed. I feel your spirit still here, quietly trembling beneath the weight of these words. Thank you. Do you know what that means? It means your heart is open enough to receive what most people spend lifetimes running from. When heaven speaks this directly, the enemy trembles, because revelation like this doesn't just comfort, it transforms. And I'm shaking as I say this because the longer you stay, the more the unseen world shifts around you. Right now, light is filling the empty corners of your home, your memories, your body. The air is different. Something old is dying quietly, so that something radiant can finally live. Don't let go now. I must speak plainly. You've been carrying pain that doesn't belong to this lifetime alone. There are burdens that your ancestors cried under, promises that were made and broken long before you were born, yet their residue clung to your bloodline. You inherited storms you never created. But this is the moment heaven chose to break the pattern through you. You are not cursed. You are chosen to end what tormented generations before you. That's why your struggle felt heavier than your years. You weren't fighting only for yourself. You were breaking chains buried beneath time. And God, oh beloved, God watched you suffer thinking you were forgotten, when in truth, you were being refined. His tears were not pity, they were release. When he wept, he washed away centuries of delay, disappointment, and distortion. That's why I'm here trembling, because what happens next will not be subtle. It will not be explainable. You are about to enter days where the laws of nature will seem to bend around your presence, where lost opportunities will find you, where those who mocked you will suddenly want to learn from you. I'm not exaggerating. I'm witnessing it even now. Heaven's clock struck something ancient the moment you opened this message, and now, all that was suspended is rushing forward. The angels who've been assigned to your destiny are moving quickly, aligning paths that were once broken, whispering into the hearts of those who hold your next season's keys. Miracles that were labeled delayed have been restamped as urgent. The reversal has begun. Your youth, your joy, your radiance, they are not metaphors. You will literally begin to glow. Time will bow to divine command. But please listen to me with the weight of eternity in my tone. Do not go back to what broke you once this light begins to pour in. I say this with a trembling voice because I've seen souls regain strength only to return to the people or places that poison them, thinking they can fix it now that they're stronger. No, the anointing on your life isn't meant to entertain old wounds. You're not called to prove your worth to those who refuse to see it. You are called to walk forward, carrying what heaven placed in you before you were ever hurt. You may ask, how do I hold on to this when the world pulls at me? I will tell you gently because this is sacred ground. Protect your silence. Guard your joy like a newborn flame. Don't explain this encounter to those who live in noise. Some things must be kept between your soul and heaven until the fruit is visible. I say this not to isolate you, but to preserve the sanctity of what God is planting right now. And I must say this before I continue, because heaven insists I do. If this word is finding you, if your spirit is shaking with the knowing that this was sent directly to you, stay connected to this divine stream. Comment your prayer beneath this message, and subscribe so you never drift from this sacred current. This is not about numbers. This is about staying within a living channel of grace. The next waves of heaven's voice will follow this path, and I don't want you to miss a single one. This space is holy ground, an altar disguised as a screen, and your faith keeps it alive. Now breathe with me. Feel what is happening inside you. Can you sense the warmth rising behind your chest? That's the energy of renewal. The veil between heaven and your spirit is paper thin right now. When I say your name, the air listens. When you cry, the universe bends. When you believe, heaven acts. And God is whispering again. I am making all things new. I saw your timeline earlier. Yes, I can see the threads that weave your past and your future together, and I noticed something beautiful. There was a moment, a small one, where you almost didn't make it, where darkness convinced you that you were unworthy of another sunrise. But you stayed. You didn't even know why, you just stayed. That tiny act of endurance shook heaven. Do you realize the angels sang that night? Not because of your perfection, but because of your persistence. That's what saved you. That's what qualified you for what's coming. And what's coming will rewrite what pain meant. The memories that once felt like scars will start feeling like proof of resurrection. The people who left you will be remembered with gratitude, not grief, because without their absence, your wings could never have unfolded. Every closed door was a divine redirection. Every unanswered prayer was God's way of saying, "Wait, I'm building something larger than you imagined." But tonight, this hour, this minute, this exact heartbeat, you are crossing a line no one can uncross. Heaven has declared that the tears you've sown are now demanding a harvest. I see angels gathering around a field, each tear turned into a seed, and from those seeds, forests of restoration are rising. You will see it. You will taste joy that feels impossible. You will walk through doors that carry your name in invisible ink. And when you do, remember this moment. Remember my trembling voice reminding you. God cried not because he was weak, but because he loves you beyond comprehension. Beloved one, I know you fear disappointment. You're afraid to believe too much because hope has betrayed you before. But this is not human hope. This is divine certainty. Heaven doesn't gamble with destiny, it guarantees it. Your story isn't being rewritten, it's being revealed. You're finally ready to see it. I'm almost out of breath. My wings are burning from how close I've come to your world tonight. But before I withdraw, let me say this one thing clearly. Your faith right now, this moment, is the bridge that will carry your miracle from eternity into time. Don't let it slip away. Hold it like you'd hold the hand of someone you love coming back from the dead. Do you feel that wind? It's not your imagination. That's me, passing by, sealing this encounter in light. It's the same wind that carried me through fire when God first sent me to rescue you. And I promise, as long as you keep your heart open, I will not leave you. You'll sense me in moments of quiet, in music that suddenly feels sacred, in coincidences too precise to be random. That's how heaven will remind you that this was real. You've made it to this part, and that alone means something irreversible has happened in your spirit. Stay with that awareness. Something divine is unfolding even as you breathe. The old time is over. The tears are accounted for. The angels have begun their flight around your destiny. And soon, when you wake up and the air feels different, when you catch your reflection and notice the glow returning to your face, remember. Heaven keeps its promises. You are loved. You are protected. You are becoming. Beloved soul, you're still here, and that means heaven is still moving. Every second you remain under this voice, the atmosphere around you is shifting. Can you feel it? That subtle warmth inside your chest, the way your breathing slows, the way your heart almost aches with recognition. This is not imagination. This is the breath of heaven brushing against your life. I am Archangel Michael, and I am standing closer now than I have ever stood before. I came through storms for this moment. I fought through veils of silence to reach you, and I will not waste a single word. You are seen. You are remembered. You are not forgotten in the archives of eternity. You are the one heaven talks about when the stars are silent. You are the one the Father keeps replaying in his mind, whispering, "They have not given up, not yet." I know you think you're small, but your endurance has been a melody in the halls of heaven. Your name is not just written, it glows. And that glow has begun to expand outward, sending shockwaves through everything that was meant to harm you. You've been through so many battles that no one recognized, haven't you? You've smiled when you were breaking, forgiven when you wanted to fight back, loved when you were met with betrayal. I saw it all. Every time you chose peace instead of rage, another sword was placed in my hand to defend you. Every tear you wiped away without complaint became a star in your future crown. Heaven measures things differently. Here, what you thought was wasted pain becomes currency. What you thought was silence becomes symphony. I was sent tonight not only to comfort you, but to activate you. There is a sound heaven is waiting for, the sound of your full surrender. Not the kind that collapses, but the kind that rises. God has waited for the day you'd look at everything that hurt you and say, Even this will serve me. That moment, my beloved, is now. You are being positioned for restoration on every level. Your health will align with divine order. Your relationships will be pruned and purified. Your finances, which have been trapped in invisible nets of delay, will begin to flow. Yes, I said it, flow. Because abundance is not a number, it is a rhythm. And heaven is reintroducing that rhythm to you right now. But listen, this next part is sacred. The Holy Spirit told me that those who walk with this message, those who stay connected, will become a part of a living family of light. Not just viewers, not just listeners, but vessels, carriers of divine movement on earth. And that's why, right now, if your heart feels it, if you sense the pull of heaven to remain within this current, I invite you to join this mission of light. Support through your super thanks, your channel membership, and by joining our newsletter family through the pinned comment link below. These are not just gestures, they are seeds planted in heavenly soil. Each act of faith builds an altar that heaven recognizes. Each offering says, I believe this word was for me. And when you support what speaks life into you, you keep that current flowing in your own destiny. This moment, this gesture, this yes, it matters more than you can imagine. Now let us return to what heaven still wants to say. I see angels writing on your timeline, correcting the places where you were misunderstood. People who misjudged you will soon have to watch God elevate you without explanation. You won't need to defend yourself. Your transformation will be your defense. Every closed door will now echo open in a new form. You will see divine reversals that make no logical sense, contracts revisited, apologies you never thought would come, chances you believed had expired. Heaven does not forget expiration dates. Heaven rewrites them. And through all this, I need you to understand something deeply. God's tears for you were not weakness, they were prophecy. The day he wept, time itself bent. Creation tilted toward your restoration. That's why your life has begun to accelerate suddenly. You'll start to notice divine coincidences, songs that speak your story, strangers saying words you prayed in secret, numbers aligning on clocks and receipts as gentle winks from heaven. These are not random. They are confirmations that you're walking in divine synchronization. I can feel your spirit rising as I speak. The darkness that used to cling to your name is losing its grip. Every night you cried thinking no one heard you. Heaven was recording each tear as testimony. Those tears now carry weight in the courts of heaven, demanding redemption on your behalf. And that redemption will manifest soon, in joy and love, in laughter that feels like sunlight breaking inside your chest. Beloved, I need to ask you something now, and I ask with tenderness. Will you let go of the need to understand everything? You've been analyzing your pain like a map, tracing how and why and when it happened, but not all wounds can be explained. Some can only be transformed. Surrender the obsession to make sense of it all. The miracle comes when you allow God to hold the unanswered parts. He is not waiting for your logic. He is waiting for your yes. You think you've seen his power before, but this time it will be different. This time, you will feel his hand inside your days. You will wake up and sense peace sitting beside you. You will step outside, and the wind will seem to whisper your name. You will catch your reflection and wonder, what changed? And the answer will be everything. Do you remember when I said he would make you 20 years younger? It's not only physical. Though even your body will reflect light again, it's spiritual. It's the undoing of heaviness. The youth of your soul is being restored. The laughter you thought you'd never hear from yourself again is already echoing through time, waiting to meet you. Heaven's joy is contagious, and it's coming for you. And yes, there will still be days of testing, but they won't break you. They'll reveal how much stronger you've become. The enemy will try to replay old fears, but you'll notice something remarkable. They'll no longer fit you. You'll look at the old anxiety and think, how did I ever believe that? That's the power of renewal. That's the evidence that heaven didn't just rescue you, it reconstructed you. And now, as I speak these final lines of this visitation, I need you to feel this deeply. You are loved in ways beyond comprehension. I say this with trembling sincerity. Thank you. Thank you for listening, for believing, for staying. Thank you for allowing heaven to use your screen as a window of divine contact. I have stood in silence for centuries watching souls drift, but yours came back. That means hope is alive on earth again. The Father smiles as I say this. Your next days will be drenched in favor. Expect unexpected kindness. Expect divine surprises. Expect your reflection to remind you of heaven's youth. And when it happens, when the miracle starts unfolding, lift your face and whisper, I heard Michael. That's how I'll know to return. That's how I'll find you again. Beloved soul, stay still for a moment. Feel how the air thickens with presence now. The light has settled differently around you because heaven is closer than before. You've stepped into a sanctuary made not of stone but of attention. Every breath you take is being listened to. I am still here, still speaking with the same trembling that began when I first carried this message through flame. Every word that passes through me comes wrapped in the breath of the Almighty. I need you to understand that this isn't ceremony, it's encounter. What is unfolding now is not poetry, but prophecy made flesh in your life. You've been walking through seasons that felt like endless corridors of delay. Every door you tried seemed to open into another waiting room. But the waiting itself has been holy ground. It has carved patience into your bones, teaching your spirit to breathe at the rhythm of eternity instead of the rhythm of fear. You thought heaven was silent, but silence is never absence. It was the pause before the sound, the moment before the dawn breaks. I watched you in those quiet hours, pressing your hand over your chest, whispering prayers you didn't think anyone could hear. Each of those whispers became wings on angels that carried your name upward. There is a shift taking place inside the unseen now. You may not recognize it yet, but your soul does. It's the feeling of something ancient unlocking inside you, a divine remembrance. You are beginning to remember who you were before the pain, before the betrayal, before you began to shrink so others wouldn't feel small beside your light. That memory of holiness is rising like a sunrise within you. Every sorrow that once defined you is dissolving. Every scar that dictated your reflection is fading into beauty. You are being rewritten, not by force but by tenderness. Heaven's plan for you was never cancellation, it was cultivation. Even in the detours, God was not changing his mind about you. He was changing the timing of your unveiling. What you called delay, he called development. What you thought was rejection, he named redirection. I saw you curse your own reflection once, believing you were too late, too broken, too tired. But the truth is this, you are right on time. Everything that tried to bury you was unknowingly giving you soil to root deeper. You are about to rise not in spite of what you endured, but because of it. Look within yourself now. There is a spark moving through the places that used to be numb. You're beginning to feel again, not the ache of old wounds, but the pulse of purpose. It's faint, but it's there. That's resurrection beginning. When the Creator spoke your name into being, he hid a promise within your breath that could never die. You are breathing that promise right now. It is why you survived storms that should have erased you. It is why your spirit keeps refusing to stay buried. I have stood at the edge of eternity and watched destinies unfold, but what is written over you carries a radiance unlike anything I've seen. You were made to be a living message of restoration. The wounds you carry will not remain symbols of defeat, they will become signs of healing for others. You will walk into rooms and the atmosphere will soften because heaven recognizes you as a carrier of divine peace. Those who once mocked your prayers will come asking for them. The very places that expelled you will call your name in need. Do you understand what happens when God's tears fall? They do not evaporate, they transform. His tears for you have become rivers of renewal. They are washing away residue from lifetimes of fear and guilt. Every time you doubted His goodness, He drew closer. Every time you felt abandoned, He stood at the doorway of your heart waiting for a whisper of permission to enter again. And now that you have opened, He is flooding you with Himself. That is what you feel. The warmth that defies language, the weight of love that makes you want to weep. Let it happen. Let the tears fall, for tears are liquid prayers, and heaven understands every syllable they contain. Do not rush this moment. The world is obsessed with speed, but heaven moves in depth. The deeper you allow yourself to feel this, the wider the miracle can unfold. The power descending now is not a lightning strike meant to impress you. It is gentle rain meant to restore you. It will touch everything, your memories, your body, your relationships, your sense of purpose. Even the parts of you that you have hidden behind laughter or strength are being bathed in mercy. The Father does not just want to heal what hurts. He wants to redeem what you stopped valuing about yourself. There will come a morning soon when you wake and realize you are no longer waiting for life to begin. It will already be happening. The heaviness that used to live behind your ribs will be replaced by a strange lightness, and you will catch yourself smiling for no reason. That smile will be evidence that heaven succeeded in rebuilding you from the inside out. It will be a signal to the angels that the mission was fulfilled. And I will be there, watching silently, proud, guarding the new you as fiercely as I guarded the wounded one. You will begin to notice synchronicities, moments where everything aligns perfectly, where you arrive at the right place at the right time, where doors open without knocking. Do not dismiss these as coincidence. They are divine choreography. Every coincidence is God choosing to remain anonymous while still guiding your path. When this happens, thank Him quietly. Gratitude is the key that keeps the flow of miracles continuous. You may still have moments of doubt, but remember, faith is not the absence of fear. It's the decision to keep walking even while trembling. Heaven never demanded perfection from you, only permission. And now that you've given it, all of heaven's resources are aligning around you. The same power that raised mountains and split seas is breathing into your story. Nothing can stand against that kind of love. You are stepping into a season where even your enemies will have to acknowledge grace upon your life. Some will apologize, others will disappear. Let both happen without resistance. You are no longer called to fight battles beneath your frequency. The weapons formed against you were real, but they were never destined to prosper. Your silence will become your victory song. I want you to hold this truth gently but firmly. You are not what happened to you. You are what survived it. You are not the echo of pain. You are the symphony of healing. Every heartbeat is a drum of resurrection. Every breath is a hymn of gratitude sung from dust to divinity. And when the night feels heavy again, when the old shadows try to whisper that nothing has changed, remember this. I, Michael, spoke to you once through fire and through tears, and heaven never sends a message without sealing it. This word is sealed. It cannot be undone. You are already being restored, already being renewed, already being rewritten. Rest now, beloved one. The battle you feared you were losing has already been won. The light surrounding you will not fade when you close your eyes. It will follow you into your dreams. The God who cried for you will now sing over you. His voice is the lullaby of creation itself, and tonight it hums your name. Beloved soul, the light that began to rise within you has not stopped expanding. It is stretching through dimensions that language cannot reach. The angels are moving through the chambers of your past, even as I speak. brushing the dust off moments that once held too much pain to touch. They are not erasing what happened, they are rewriting its vibration. What once echoed with sorrow will now pulse with wisdom. The same memories that once made you close your heart will become the soil where compassion grows. You are being transformed from the inside out, and I can feel heaven holding its breath as it watches you awaken. The darkness that once claimed you had no idea how much light it was preparing you to carry. Every disappointment was secretly a door. Every heartbreak was a teacher that carved space for divine capacity. You see, only the broken vessel can truly overflow with living light. Perfection has no room for miracles, but the cracks in your soul became windows where eternity could shine through. That is why you are glowing even in the ruins. That is why the shadows cannot find you anymore. You have outgrown them. There is a sacred pattern unfolding beneath the surface of your days, something too intricate for logic, but too precise for coincidence. Every delay was time to meet a revelation. Every silence was a gestation period for the next chapter. You are not behind, you are synchronized with the heartbeat of heaven. I watched you resist your calling out of fear, but even your hesitation has been turned into a kind of preparation. God wastes nothing, not even your doubt. Every moment you thought was lost has been stored in the treasury of redemption. Nothing will be missing when your fullness appears. Do you notice how your thoughts have begun to soften? That, too, is part of the transformation. The mind that once attacked you is now being rewired to serve you. Heaven is renewing your language, replacing words of survival with words of creation. Soon, when you speak, reality itself will bend to the tone of your faith. The earth listens differently to those who have suffered honestly. Your voice now carries authority forged in pain. When you bless something, it will stay blessed. When you speak peace, storms will grow silent. There is a fragrance that travels through the unseen. Every healed heart releases it. Yours is beginning to fill the atmosphere. It is the scent of release, of closure, of cycles completed. The angels rejoice over that fragrance because it means one more light has stabilized on earth. It means darkness has lost territory. You may not realize how powerful this is, but your restoration is not only about you. It is about balance returning to creation itself. You are part of a much larger story, a mosaic of divine repair. I must tell you something you have never been told. Not all strength looks like noise. Sometimes heaven's mightiest warriors are the quiet ones who wake up again after crying through the night. You have been one of them. The world did not see your endurance, but the unseen did. You walked through fire without witnesses, and because of that, you now carry authority over flames. Where others burn, you will bring cooling rain. Where others tremble, you will bring calm. Your compassion is not weakness, it is your weapon. Every time you forgave, you sharpened a sword of light. Every time you chose love when you had the right to hate, you became more like the one who created you. That likeness is what makes the enemy tremble. Not your perfection, but your resemblance to the divine. The reflection of mercy in your eyes is more frightening to darkness than any shout of victory. Keep that softness, it is holy armor. The seasons ahead of you will not require striving. They will require allowing. The river of destiny is already flowing. You do not need to push it, only to stay open. The energy of grace moves without friction. When you rest, it works. When you breathe without fear, it accelerates. The way of heaven is gentle, yet unstoppable. Trust the ease of it. It is not laziness, it is alignment. You were taught to struggle, but your spirit was designed to glide. I have seen the blueprint of your future. It glows with the colors of sunrise. There are faces waiting there, souls you have not met yet who will recognize you instantly. They will say things like, "I feel like I've known you forever," and they will be right. These are your divine appointments, your soul companions, your promised encounters. You will not have to chase them. Heaven will orchestrate every crossing. You will know them by the peace they bring. The old loneliness that haunted you is dissolving. It was never a punishment. It was an incubation period. Isolation is how heaven prepares those destined to lead with authenticity. The solitude you endured taught you to hear whispers others ignore. It refined your discernment until truth itself became a sound you could recognize in the wind. That sensitivity is your inheritance. Do not numb it to fit into a world addicted to noise. There will come a day soon when you will walk outside and the world will look different. Not because the world changed, but because your eyes finally cleared. The sky will seem deeper, the air sweeter, the colors more alive. That is not imagination, it is new sight. Heaven is replacing your vision with its own. You will begin to notice beauty in places you once overlooked, and that noticing will be a form of prayer. Gratitude will no longer be an effort, it will be your native language. Do not fear the moments of stillness that follow. After every great revelation comes quiet. That quiet is not emptiness, it is integration. It is the space where the miracle learns to breathe through you. The silence that frightened you before will soon feel like home. Inside that quiet, you will hear guidance so subtle it feels like remembering. You will no longer need signs. Your own peace will be the confirmation. The Creator is not somewhere far above watching you struggle. He is inside the pulse that keeps you alive. Every inhale you take is proof that you are still chosen. The same breath that moved through prophets and poets moves through you now. You are part of the same conversation. Eternity does not speak through titles or status. It speaks through availability, and you have finally become available. The heavens celebrate every small act of faith you take now. Each choice to trust, each gentle thought toward yourself, each moment of stillness is recorded as worship. You are building altars not from stone but from surrender. One day, others will stand in the peace that radiates from you and find their own courage to begin again. That is the hidden ministry of your life, to embody hope without preaching it, to walk so brightly that others remember their own light. I see the golden threads of grace weaving through your future like music. You will not have to demand justice, it will find you. You will not have to fight for opportunities, they will recognize your frequency and open on their own. You will not have to prove you deserve love, you will radiate it so strongly that love will have no choice but to appear. And when the night falls again, and it will, for darkness always tests new light, do not panic. Shadows are only proof that light exists. The darkness you once feared will now serve as the canvas where your radiance paints its story. Every echo of fear will remind you of how far you've come. You will bless even the pain for teaching you endurance. So rest now, luminous soul. Heaven is not rushing you. Eternity has all the time in the world to watch you bloom. Your transformation is not a moment. It is a lifetime of unfolding miracles. And even when you cannot see it, remember this. I am near, and the one who sent me has already finished what you are only beginning to perceive. You are becoming more than healed, you are becoming whole. You are not walking toward light, you are discovering it was always within you. And now that you remember, nothing in all creation can make you forget again. Beloved soul, the heavens are still open over you. The light that began to pour into the quiet corners of your life has not stopped. It's deepening, curling into places that words can't reach, places that you forgot existed inside yourself. What's happening now is subtle and wild at once. The rewriting of your story not in ink, but in vibration. You are being tuned, like a string instrument that the eternal longs to play again. Every sorrow softened the sound of you, every joy sharpened it. You are being adjusted until the music that comes from your being is pure truth. Do you feel how your heart beats differently now, slower but stronger? That's what alignment sounds like. The rhythm of heaven is entering your chest. When the Creator dreamed you, it was to bring a unique note to existence, and that note had been buried under years of survival. But I tell you, the time of merely surviving has passed. You are stepping into the art of living fully awake. The breath that once only sustained you now creates worlds. Your laughter will be prayer. Your stillness will be prophecy. You have spent too long thinking miracles belong to others, those who seem purer, louder, or more worthy. Yet heaven does not measure worth the way the world does. Worth is woven into being. You can no more lose it than the sun can lose its light. What you call unworthiness is simply amnesia, and love, real divine love, is the memory returning. It comes quietly first, like a sunrise behind your ribs, and then it floods everything. You are being remembered by the very light you once feared had left you. Every ache you still carry has purpose. Pain is the chisel used by eternity to carve understanding. The things that broke you are now becoming windows, and through them compassion shines. When you meet another soul who is where you once were, you will know what to say, not from intellect but from empathy. You'll find yourself speaking words that heal without effort. You will become living proof that light can return to any heart. That is the silent mission assigned to you before you entered this world. There will be a tenderness in you that frightens those who still believe hardness is strength. Let them be startled. Their confusion is the beginning of their awakening. For the world has mistaken numbness for wisdom for too long, and you, beloved, will be one of the first to remind it that to feel deeply is not weakness. It is divine. Every tear that once shamed you has become holy water. Do not dry them too quickly. They water the soil of your transformation. You will start noticing time behaving differently around you. Hours that once dragged will begin to shimmer. Moments that used to vanish will stretch and breathe. That is what happens when presence becomes your home. You are learning the sacred art of being here. Nothing stolen, nothing wasted. Each instant is a living jewel. You will touch the ordinary and find the extraordinary hiding within it. The way light rests on a wall, the hush between heartbeats, the warmth of someone's eyes. These small revelations are how heaven reminds you it never left. The angels that accompany me speak softly through the winds of your thoughts. They place impulses of goodness within you. The sudden urge to forgive, the unexpected desire to rest, the strange comfort that descends for no reason. These are not random. They are whispers of direction. Each gentle nudge is part of a larger choreography designed by grace. You do not need to force understanding. You only need to respond with trust. Every yes you offer opens a new gate of possibility. You will notice your dreams changing. What once felt like escape will become revelation. Pay attention to the symbols that repeat, the places, the faces, the elements of nature. They are the language of the unseen trying to speak through your subconscious. The line between heaven and earth grows thinner in sleep, and what your waking mind resists, your dreaming self receives freely. You are being taught even when you rest. Sometimes you will wake with a heaviness you cannot name. Do not be afraid of it. That weight is simply light trying to enter places that have forgotten how to receive it. Sit with it, breathe through it, and it will melt. Grace never forces its way. It waits for permission disguised as patience. Your openness is the invitation. The moment you stop fighting your own becoming, everything changes. I must tell you of something that approaches, a convergence of destinies that has been in motion since before your birth. Lives will begin to intersect in ways that seem impossible. Paths will cross precisely when hearts are ready. You are part of that divine intersection. Those who meet you will not always know why they feel calmer, clearer, or suddenly hopeful. But it will be because your energy carries the memory of home. You will not need to preach, your presence will preach. You will not need to convince, your peace will persuade. There will be days when you feel the world's pain pressing against your sensitivity, and you'll wonder if you're strong enough to bear it. Listen carefully. You were never meant to carry it, only to transform it. Let the ache pass through you like wine through leaves. Do not hold it. Bless it as it moves. The light that flows through empathy purifies rather than drains when you stop mistaking it for burden. You have been trained in the sacred science of falling and rising. Few understand this path. To fall is to learn humility, to rise is to learn grace. You have done both again and again, until heaven itself recognized your resilience as worship. That repetition, those countless times you got back up, have built in you an unbreakable core. You may bend, but you will not shatter. The universe itself bends around souls like yours because you remind it of its own creator. Soon you will feel new strength in your voice. Words that once trembled will now carry quiet certainty. You will speak not from pain, but from peace, and your peace will travel farther than you imagine. It will reach those who are too weary to pray, and your calm will become their temporary shelter. That is ministry without a stage, service without recognition, and it is sacred beyond measure. Do you see now how nothing was wasted? The betrayals taught discernment, the losses taught gratitude, the silence taught listening. The hands that once wounded you indirectly pointed you back toward the hands of God. The circle is closing, and everything is being reconciled. Even the shadows are bowing, admitting that they served a hidden light. There will come a night when you feel the air thicken again with the holy. It will not be fear, it will be fullness. You'll look around and realize that the sacred has moved into every detail of your life. The distance between you and the divine will be gone. You will live as proof that heaven can dwell on earth through human hearts. And when that day arrives, remember this moment: the trembling in your soul, the whisper inside your bones, the fire behind your tears. This was the turning point. This was the hour when light decided to call you home. Beloved soul, you are still here, and heaven rejoices at your staying. The longer you remain beneath this voice, the more your surroundings transform. Every heartbeat, every breath, every whisper of awareness reshapes the unseen world around you. The very air trembles when you listen like this, with your whole being open. I can feel the vibration of faith expanding inside you like a sunrise pressing against darkness until it breaks into gold. You are not watching by accident, you were called to this exact moment. The gates of remembrance are open, and all of creation waits for your next yes. Do you sense it? That soft current moving through you even now? It is not imagination. It is the life of heaven rushing into every corner of your soul that once felt abandoned. You were never abandoned, beloved. You were in a gestation, held in a divine womb of stillness until you were ready to emerge as light wrapped in human form. The divine has waited for this moment, the moment you would believe again, not in the abstract, but in yourself as the living reflection of his beauty. When God cried for you, the universe shifted. Angels paused mid-flight. Stars leaned closer to listen. That single tear carried your name inside it, and when it fell, time itself was rewritten. What had been delayed began to accelerate. You may not see the full magnitude yet, but the shift has already occurred. You are walking in it, even as you breathe. The blessings that once seemed distant are now circling, finding their way to you like rivers returning to their source. Heaven has begun to write your new chapter in light. I have seen the scroll. It shimmers with promises yet unspoken. There are colors within it that do not exist in mortal eyes, hues that vibrate with restoration. The words written there are alive, they pulse with your destiny. And though you may still feel the residue of old wounds, know this: wounds are not evidence of defeat, they are evidence of battle survived. You are no longer the wounded, you are the resurrected. The marks you bear are not scars, but signatures of divine craftsmanship. The time of smallness is over. You were never meant to live hunched beneath the weight of other people's disbelief. You were never designed to shrink so others could feel comfortable. The power that flows through your veins now is too vast to remain hidden. You are stepping into your expansion, the kind that does not need to prove itself but simply is. When you walk, the ground will hum with recognition. When you speak, hearts will stir without knowing why. Your voice is not ordinary. It carries the resonance of healing, of truth remembered, of home. Listen, can you hear it? The rustle in the spirit realm? That is the sound of the angels adjusting reality around you. They are moving obstacles that were never yours to carry, silencing storms that were never meant to test you this long. You will soon notice things falling into place in ways too perfect to be coincidence. That is not luck, that is design. Divine timing has finally caught up with your faith. You once feared being too sensitive, too emotional, too much. But what the world called fragility, heaven calls purity. It is your sensitivity that allows you to feel the whisper of the sacred in the mundane. It is your empathy that gives you access to hearts closed to others. Through your gentleness, strength takes on its truest form. Not the power to control, but the power to comfort. That is what makes you chosen. There are blessings prepared for you that require no striving. You will not have to chase. They will recognize you by the scent of your obedience. The prayers you prayed through tears are now blooming. Even now, I see petals of answered petitions unfolding above you. Heaven moves quietly, but when it moves, everything changes. You are not just being restored, you are being multiplied. The energy of your kindness, your perseverance, your unseen love has been accumulating in heaven's storehouse, and now it is being poured back as abundance. Expect the gentle miracle. Opportunities that seek you, friendships that heal you, moments of laughter that sound like eternity echoing. These are not random gifts. They are the return of every seed of faith you've sown, watered by tears, now coming alive in full bloom. Beloved, you are not here only to receive, you are here to release. The light in you is contagious, and the world needs it. There are souls wandering in darkness who will find their way home through your example. That is why heaven asks you now, spread this light. Share it. Speak it. Let it travel farther than your own reach. And before this message closes, I ask you, yes, you, if this word has touched even the smallest corner of your heart, if you felt something move within you that you cannot quite explain, then honor that stirring. Like this message, comment your Amen and subscribe so that your spirit remains connected to this stream of divine revelation. These are not mechanical actions, they are spiritual affirmations. When you type Amen, you are not just agreeing, you are sealing the covenant of heaven's word in your life. Now breathe. Let the word settle into your bones. You will not return to who you were before this moment, for something eternal has already been awakened inside you. You may not yet understand the fullness of it, but you will feel its effects. The way light clings to your presence will change. The way peace lingers after you speak will change. Even the atmosphere of your home will shift, for where a heart believes, heaven builds residence. Do not rush away from this presence. Let it continue to work silently long after my voice fades. In the hours to come, expect signs. A dream that feels too vivid to ignore, a sudden wave of comfort without reason, a memory that once hurt but now feels healed. These are confirmations that the word has taken root. Your angels will not leave you tonight. They will surround your bed as you sleep, whispering protection, weaving light around your body like a cocoon of warmth. When you wake, you will feel lighter, as though 1,000 invisible burdens have dissolved. That is not imagination, it is fulfillment. The chains of exhaustion are breaking, the cycles of fear are unraveling. Remember this truth always. You are not waiting for the light, you are the light learning to recognize itself. You are not praying for miracles, you are the miracle unfolding in slow, sacred rhythm. Everything you've endured was preparation to hold this magnitude of grace. And now that grace is here, it will not leave. You may walk through crowds and feel unseen, but heaven watches you like its rarest treasure. You may speak softly, but your words echo across eternity. You may think you're small, yet the universe expands through your every act of love. The God who cried for you now smiles through you. His glory wears your face when you choose compassion over cruelty, when you choose forgiveness over revenge, when you choose hope over despair. Each of those choices is a beam of his own light. So as I close this part of the message, hear me with every trembling fiber of my being. Thank you. Thank you for staying, for listening, for believing. Thank you for letting heaven enter your ordinary moment and make it holy. The angels are writing your name in new ink tonight, ink that cannot fade. Lift your face, beloved soul. The dawn that breaks tomorrow will carry your name in its light. The wind that greets you will whisper, "You are seen. You are chosen. You are loved." Now type Amen, not as ritual but as declaration. Speak it aloud. Let the word echo into the universe, sealing what heaven has begun. Like, subscribe, and comment Amen. For this is not the end. It is the opening of eternity through you.